Aquarius, it's such a big month this month because we see a new moon solar eclipse in this part of your horoscope on the 11th of the month. And I detect some sort of mischief going on around me at this time. My daughter, my little apprentice, if she weaves in and out of the screen, please forgive her. We see here the very powerful retrogression of several planets. Mercury in your marital sector. Yana, come on, please. I'm trying to focus. And Mars, Pluto and Saturn, along with Neptune in your second house of finance. So I want to just focus on this. This is important because it brings through the theme, especially from the 4th of August when the moon touches Uranus here, to the square of this part of your horoscope. Very significant release of energy. This is karmic energy. This is the reaching for new levels within your relationship, especially if you're in a committed relationship in terms of your marriage or de facto or live-in partnerships. It can also have some bearing on your business partnerships, and we'll talk about that a little later. It's important for you to make those changes now, or at least recognize what changes have to be made. This retrograde Mars is extremely powerful. It actually rules your career sector. It also rules this third sector of communications and negotiations. Things can be in a bit of a tailspin there, and so therefore, when I said earlier that this area may indeed have something to do with your business partnerships, the fact that you have a connection there with your profession planet is quite likely for those of you born under Aquarius. We also see here, bingo, this square aspect from Jupiter in the career sector ruling your finance area. So actually, the more I'm looking at this, the more there may be, equally as many issues surrounding renaissance of your business and financial partnerships, as well as the ones that relate to the emotional and more intimate personal relationships that are usually shown by this 7th house. And all of that really kicking off with this new moon, the eclipse, on the 11th. The 8th house here is more related to intimacy matters. Something sudden or abrupt may take place there around the 12th and 13th as the moon moves through there. Time to get away from it all after the 14th and 15th. We see here Venus. Actually, Venus is your best planet. You've probably heard me say that in the past several times. And the connection of the moon with this area indicates possibly some debts associated with travels, with higher educational pursuits, or possibly even legal matters. But I don't see this as a bad thing. I think whatever expenses you go through at this time are going to be in pursuit of a noble cause, if I could put it that way. The professional aspects are shown here by the conjunction of Moon and Jupiter after the 16th. This is beautiful. This gives excellent opportunities, and there's a shift away up here from your more intimate personal relationships into the professional arena here as it transits through Scorpio. Notice also that your planet of career moved back here into the sign of Capricorn, the 12th house, with one of your ruling planets, Saturn, and the transformative Pluto. So then I like this 11th house position where we see a culmination of some of your work. Some of you may start to see some benefits financially, materially. It's also a social position, so you can expect some fun times at that time. 21st is not so easy with this combination here. Moon moving smack bang into Saturn, then Pluto, then Mars. Unfortunately, you may not be able to articulate this. This is one of the secretive hidden parts of the zodiac, like this 8th house here. Also the 4th house, believe it or not, which is directly under the Earth. So here you may be secretly suffering something, a burden that you've got to work through. And I hope that you can work through this, because it's important for you to not bog yourself down. If you can share this with someone, all the better. But I suspect for this couple of days at least, you may be laying low to work through some of these issues. The 25th, 24th, 25th, we see the full moon here in your finance sector. So this again is a bit of a throwback to the beginning of the month, where we mentioned some of these other aspects were throwing their light onto this area of partnerships. But now we see you must be a little bit careful. Whatever income you're getting from, see these lovely blue lines here, the triangular lines from lucky Jupiter here in your 10th house, that could be jeopardized by this ruler of your 6th house of debt, the moon, transiting in this area. So be careful, especially when it comes into conjunction with Neptune, which can sow foggy thinking, not really clear rational thought. 3rd house of contracts on the 29th, and then the 4th house, which is the final aspect we see here on the 30th, 31st, is with Uranus. So there could be something dramatic that happens in your domestic sphere just on the last day of the month. I hope that helps. You know, come back next month, but in the meantime, subscribe. Send me a note if you've got any questions about my rather, well, I call it fairly pacey, the Oracle Express. But you can get a little bit more detail on what I've been talking about here at astrology.com.au. Look forward to seeing you there. And for any personal attention, as I said, message me and we can talk about it. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.